We need to walk from here. Follow the path up the mountain. We need to walk the rest of the way from here. According to the flyer, this path up the mountain leads to the Grinning Horker Inn. You go first, but be ready for anything. We don't know how long the Coven has been using this place.
It's been a while, hasn't it? I almost didn't recognize you. Last time I saw you, we saved Rivenspire. The stakes are even higher now. And this time, Verandis isn't here. I need your help, my friend. We need to find out more about the Grey Host. You know the Raven Watch deals with threats all the time. Trouble is, there's never been a threat consisting of a reborn army of vampires and werewolves from the First Era. So yes, I could use some help. We need to know what they're planning. We know that one of the original ruling members of the Grey Host is rebuilding their army, gathering vampires and werewolves to their banner. And we know they're experimenting with life energy. So, what do you say? Ready for another adventure? Everything I learned up to now points in the same direction. Bankerai Garrison. There's a scholar named Norette Deal there who may be able to tell us more about the Grey Host and how they were defeated. Cart's over there when you're ready to go. My research has uncovered pieces, but I hope the scholars at the Bankerai Garrison can put the puzzle together. Members of the Grey Host experimented with life energy, and at least one of their leaders survived their defeat in the ancient past. My research indicates a council ruled the Grey Host. One of those leaders fell out of favor and another survived the final battle. A Durrani noble with connections to Viridian Watch gave the survivor sanctuary. In return, they made her a vampire. In the ancient past, the Grey Host sought to use life energy to draw souls into containment vessels called stone husks. It had something to do with returning the dead to life. I think there's a new Grey Host, and they've revived those experiments. Probably, but nothing that can't wait. Let's take the cart to the Bankerai Garrison and find the scholars who can tell us more about the history of the Grey Host. For the moment, there are an awful lot of evil conspiracies afoot in Tamriel, and not nearly enough Ravenwatch members to investigate them all. But this isn't a one-person job, which is why we recruited help. No idea. They're spread out. Adusa, for example, mentioned something about necromancers raising bone giants and elsewhere, but she probably wanted to refill her moon sugar stores. Fenorian could be anywhere. He does tend to sneak around. I'm hoping a scholar of ancient Bankerai battles named Norette Deal or one of her colleagues can tell us more about the Grey Host. With any luck, they have information about the Grey Host that's not too outlandish. The priests have this old holy text that claims St. Pelin leapt off the garrison's walls, landed among the host, asked Stendarr for endless blood, and then fed them all without dying. Then the garrison dropped some rocks on them. See? Outlandish. Exactly. We need practical facts about how the Grey Host was defeated at Bankerai Garrison. Hopefully Scholar Deal can provide them. Watch yourself. Things aren't as peaceful as they used to be. If you need some extra supplies for your travels, I might be able to help, but I can't spare too much.
flames take you, Swit!
Thomas
have left us
Frost,
to our
die already!
Feel so faint.
Well, this isn't at all what I expected. What happened here? Nice camp, I suppose.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for a tour? I'm afraid they've all been suspended until this mess with the Imperial Army is resolved. If I could offer a suggestion, turn around and head for the safety of Evermore's walls. As you can plainly see, now is not a good time. My fellow scholars and I fled when Septima Tharn and her Daedra-worshipping zealots attacked. We barely got out before the first impacts from their ballistae shook the walls. You did? Why didn't any of the knights report this? No one tells scholars anything. Well, if that's true, and I see no reason you'd offer such an audacious lie, then thank you. Septima Tharn is mad. Had we stayed, she would have fed us to her Daedra. I'm sorry. Concern for my colleagues and the Pyre Watch warrior who accompanied them has my thoughts in a jumble. Come to think of it, the Pyre Watch are experts on the Grey Host. Find my friends, and I'm sure the warrior will answer your questions. They're guardians sworn to watch over a Grey Host burial site located here in Bankurai. One of their warriors was here recruiting when the garrison came under attack. She went to protect my colleagues, but no one's returned. Can you go find them? Cogleen and Indus fled in the direction of Evermore with the Pyre Watch warrior, while Jannard headed toward Kerbel's Hollow. Please be careful. The wilderness can be treacherous between here and there. Even if my mind wasn't clouded with worry, I'm an expert on the Second Era. My First Era knowledge is extremely limited. The Pyre Watch knows more about the Grey Host than anyone. Find her and my friends, and she'll provide the answers you seek. Thank you, friend. When you return with the scholars safely in tow, we should be able to put our collective heads together and dredge up that ancient history. That is, if the Pyre Watch warrior hasn't already satisfied your curiosity.
This scholar's research doesn't go back to the First Era, and the other scholars fled? That puts a wrinkle in our plans, all right. This Pyre Watch warrior is a promising lead, though. Let's go find her and the other scholars. I heard. Let's split up and go after them. All take Kerbel's Hollow. You head toward Evermore. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Yeah, my brother Fenorian told me about one he encountered. They're the guardians of an ancient mass grave where the remains of the Grey Host are said to be interred. Probably knows more than the scholars. Find them and meet me back here. Find the scholars. but try not to get eaten by anything.
You there. Come.
I'm weakening.
How can anything hurt so badly?
You don't look like a refugee. Are you a soldier from the garrison? What news of the Imperial attack? Oh, that's wonderful news. Cogleen and I intended to head straight for Evermore. The cursed Imperials caught up with us. They would have captured us if not for that Pyre Watch warrior. Have you seen her? Is she alive? She was, but we ran into Imperials. The Pyre Watch warrior distracted the soldiers and ordered me to flee. Then she took Cogleen and headed west. Please, find them. I worry for their safety. I will go to Scarlet Deal's camp now. We are most fortunate you came to our aid. Other than the fact that they were defeated here centuries ago, not much, I'm afraid. I can tell you Empress Hestra's legions came to the aid of Bankurai garrison. That's why High Rock became part of the Alessian Empire for a time. Alas, you seek facts and figures that I don't have readily at hand. Perhaps when I can retrieve my papers from inside the garrison? You know, the Pyre Watch warrior might be able to help you. They're experts on the Grey hosts of the First Era. I will return to Scarlet Deal's camp. May Tall Papa guide your steps.
Over here! You're the first thing I've seen that isn't an undead monstrosity. Oh, lovely. Are you with the garrison? Please, tell me you're here to rescue me. Oh, thanks, Stendarr. I thought I could make it to Evermore, but I tired myself out. When I tried to pass through the old graveyard, I ran into unspeakable horrors. Thought I was finished. I'll head back now. Oh, say, did you find that Pyre Watch warrior? When the Imperials came after us, she managed to distract them and ordered me to run to the graveyard. I think she headed for the Crypt of the Exiles. Oh, I hope she found shelter within. We owe her our lives. Please, will you go check on her? I'll find Scarlet Deal's camp straight away. I am in your debt. If I can do anything to aid you, all you have to do is ask. The army of monsters that ravaged the First Era? Not really my area of expertise. I study the historical accounts of Warlord Thulgeg's army of orcs and goblins. The garrison held strong and denied them passage. Not one got through. Truly inspiring. Well, most scholars agree that the fanciful legend about the Grey Host's defeat is, pardon my orcish, guardung. You know, the Pyre Watch are sort of Grey Host experts. Find her, and I'm sure she can provide the answers you seek. I'll hurry back to Scarlet Deal's camp. Be safe.
forward, you godless mongrel! My apologies, Wayfarer. The shadows make it difficult to discern friend from foe. You do not look like my enemy. Perhaps Tuwaka has not forsaken me after all. What are you doing in this wretched place? It gladdens my heart to hear that Scholar Deal is safe. But what of the other scholars? Did my efforts to lead the Imperials away allow them to get away? That is truly fortunate. As for me, I escaped the Imperials only to find myself surrounded by ancient undead. Let us speak outside. I will follow your lead. May Onsi guide your blade. Lead on, Wayfarer.
The exit. Let us see the sky once more. I came to Bankurai Garrison seeking recruits for the Pyre Watch. Hunding help us, I did not expect those villains to arrive and send innocent people fleeing for shelter. I am grateful you saved the scholars. Now what can I do for you in return? The Grey Host was a terrible army of vampires, werewolves, and other monsters that pillaged the land. Only the combined might of the Bankurai Garrison and the Alessian Empire finally defeated them. That story, unfortunately, is mired in legend. The true story may be as enthralling as the legends, but we only have bits and pieces of it. Magic was involved, almost certainly, but whether it was divine in nature or Alessian sorcery, we have never been able to determine. I can delve into the records of my order when I return to our sanctum, but understand that the Watch is concerned with keeping the past buried, not exposing it. I can tell you that there are indications that one of the hosts survived the slaughter. A Dureni noble. That gives some credence to the historical record. An incomplete parchment mentioned Viridian Watch, but we never saw the significance. It also said that only the worthy could enter the sanctuary. We never determined what that meant. I do not know the nature of your mission, Wayfarer, and I still have my own to uphold. But if you seek answers about the Grey Host, then may Mara bless your search. I know precious little. I never visited the site myself. Though incomplete, the historical record indicates the survivor hid in a concealed space that they were guided to. Perhaps that has something to do with the idea of being worthy. There wasn't much, just that the worthy would be guided to safety. Perhaps that is the key, if you can determine what worthy means to a vile vampire. Any place associated with the Grey Host cannot be trusted. Evil does not fade, so be on your guard. I will go check on the scholars at Deal's camp. Thank you again, Wayfarer.
There you are. Good. You're back. I found Jannard and I see you've managed to return with the rest. Show off. Now that we settled that matter, what did the Pyre Watch warrior tell you about the Grey Host? I was afraid of that. So much about the First Era has been lost. I wonder if the Pyre Watch knows anything about the other details we learned. About the survivor and their connection to a Dureni noble. That matches what we already uncovered, and confirms the Dureni connection. Did you find out anything else I should know? A riddle, damn it. There's always a riddle. Well, I say we go to Viridian Watch and figure this out on our own. I'll mark the location on your map. Now let's go before Scholar Deal tries to regale me with more tales of the Knights of St. Pellen.